All right, so welcome to the Captain Show. I trust that you're doing well this time and you are keeping safe. You are sanitizing, you are keeping distance so that we successfully handle the pandemic that we are in. So I want to welcome you to this edition of the Captain Show. We're really excited. The Captain Show is the most true, most authentic, most African show where we get insights from top CEOs and captains of industries in Africa. And today we are really honored to have one such lady. She's a trailblazer. She's a trailblazer. There is one in the beauty industry across Africa. And it's such a pleasure that and we're really honored to get to Oster. We'll get to know her in a little while. I'm your host, Sarah Munyi. So our guest today is a leading captain of an industry in the beauty industry, having studied international relations and worked in New York fashion and beauty industry for about 6 to 7 years. She then relocated to Kenya. She came back to Kenya and she created one of the largest, actually the first beauty company in Kenya, which is called SuzieBeauty. And she created the business, and then after a few years, not even about 5 years, in less than 5 years, she was able to sell that business. So we're getting to know how do you build a business to sell? Why should you even sell a business? How do you manage to get your business investor ready? And how do you build a business to sell in Africa? These are some of the few questions that she'll be getting to answer to us. So please help me welcome the most quintessential and the most beautiful lady in the beauty industry, Suzie Wokabi. Hi, Suzie.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
What a great introduction. Too.
No. You are really adorable. When we look at, very many business people, we look up and see, when we see the kind of achievement you've been able to make and the strides you have made in the beauty industry, in the corporate industry in Kenya, we are inspired. We are really inspired. So thank you very much for taking time. I know you're very busy during this time. So maybe first you can tell us, because we are feeling
different type of business.
Yes, please. Oh yeah. So maybe you can tell us. You can get to tell us, Suzie, which one word? Just give us like one word that best describes Suzie Wokabi.
One.
What?
One.
One word that
like professional wise or personally?
Just any word. It best describes you.
I do consider myself a beautypreneur, and I feel like I did coin that term because I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm in the beauty industry, so I call myself a beautypreneur.
Oh, I love that. Beauty, and especially in this century, everyone, even men, they're getting into beauty. They are buying beauty products. People are really they're really getting keen on their looks and their image. So I love that one. Beautypreneur, it's really good. So why the beauty industry, Suzie? You could have gotten into fashion when you came back to Kenya. You could have done other things. Why beauty?
Well, I could have done many other things, because if you read back about like all the stories I've talked about, and I have had so many thoughts of different careers through the years. Even when I was in high school, like it was very different from now. I studied international relations in a college, which I never did anything with. And I did work in different areas of fashion when I was in the US, and I love beauty. I love beauty so much. I found my love for it when I was working for a few different big beauty retailers, and I found sort of extreme passion there,
Mm.
and never ever thought that that could be a career, and realized that it could.
Yeah.
And I was a makeup artist for many years, and came back home to work as a media makeup artist. And
Mm.
then I never planned to be an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur. My mom was always she
Wow.
worked for the World Bank for like 800 years. So yeah, so I guess maybe a bit of the entrepreneurial spirit came from my dad. Um, but I
Yes.
never planned to be. I never wanted to be. But then I found a gap in the market where when I'd come back home, there's all these products that we can't use on our faces, and like there's a lot of fake products, and there's a lot of
Mm.
just like products that don't work for us, and decided to
Mm.
create my own for us, the African woman, the Kenyan woman, the African
Mm.
woman. Came to find out that nobody's done that before, and
Mm.
that's why I can always hold on to the first beauty brand story. And then yeah, so it was
Yes.
3 years in the making of creating this brand and product and launching into the market. That was from
Mm.
2009 to the end of 2011.
Yes. And I think that's very important because it's important we get to know what motivates us to get into the businesses that we are in. Most of the people, young business people, young entrepreneurs, startups, they'll get into the business just because of the money. You know, there's money. It's just that's just
Oh
it.
my god! Did I laugh? Did I just laugh that loudly? And I meant that laugh. Yeah, no. If you're doing um if you're doing this for
Mm.
money, stop now
Mm.
quickly. Because yeah, it's a labor of love, and
Yes.
also no, like it doesn't, and it's not even about the beauty industry. It's about any industry and any entrepreneur. Whatever you're doing,
Mm.
be so sure that you love and adore it and can eat, live, and breathe it all day, every day. And because
Mm.
that's only what's going to keep you going all day, to be able to sustain your business, to keep yourself going, to wake up every day and start the grind
Yes.
again, because it's a grind.
Yes, that's true. That's passion. You get into business for passion. I think that's very, very key. And also, Susie, it gets to that point in business, you're grinding, you're doing all the right things, but just the money just doesn't seem to come. So if you just got into it for the money, it's you just get. That's why people start things 6 months, 1 year, you just jump off. You know, you get
No,
into
the
another
funny
venture.
thing is that 95% of startups fail in the first year of business. So because
Mm-hmm.
people don't do it for the right reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very happy to have to recognize that I will possibly never enjoy the fruits of my labor. It might not even be my sons. It might be like my granddaughters, and so be it.
Oh yeah. Wow. Wow, that's
So that's
interesting.
like
So let me
it's sort of it's legacy building and like all that. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. And let me ask, when you were starting, as you were building it for these 3 years from 2009 to 2011, did you know that you will get to some point and you sell it, or for you, you're just starting something that you love? Were you just starting so that you then sell it, or is this something that came by later?
Yeah, it definitely came by later. It was never the
Mm.
plan to even sell. But for me, it's always been about. It's just like one basic statement, which is I want to be an instrumental part of building the African beauty industry, and so that's where SuzieBeauty comes in, and
Mm.
whatever that means for me to be a part of building the beauty industry. If it means, yeah, I had to get my brand acquired at some a few years ago, in order
Mm.
for SuzieBeauty to keep on growing in the right direction and to
Mm.
hopefully catapult in a better way. So and I said actually I had an article written in the Standard Media in Standard newspaper yesterday, And
I saw it.
I like how it was written. I made it quite clear that, I mean, I don't know, like I might, do something else inside of beauty for Africa. I don't ever want to let go of SuzieBeauty entirely ever. That's my baby. Like, she's my firstborn. So I will always do whatever I can to hold on to her and to like keep her growing. But whatever else I can do inside of the African beauty industry, I will for sure do. And because we deserve it. Why not? Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Sure. Now, tell us, you know, yeah, so look, one of the challenges that you find when you're starting a business is that you find yourself doing everything. It's a one-man show. You are the creative. You are the one making, you're the salesperson. You even want to do the graphics for your designs, for your flyers. You want to do the graphics because you believe they have to be done in a certain way and you're the one who knows best. You're basically doing
I created the
everything.
logo.
So how?
Graphic artist, like
Oh.
I did feel, especially in the beginning, it was very important to me. And I think, I don't know, maybe somebody can learn a lesson from that. It's just like knowing every aspect of the business, or like touching every aspect of the business. Because when you do get the opportunity to hire the right staff or consultants or whatever in those areas of the business, they can't, they can't run you around in circles because you've done it. You've attempted to do it. You didn't maybe do it very well, fine, but you've been in it. So I think it's very important for the entrepreneur to touch and feel every part of the business, especially in the beginning. And the beginning could be the first 10 years, it could be the first 1 year. So whatever that beginning is.
But how do you grow out of that to now getting to trust people and building, even a team? How do you grow out of that?
Oh, so it's just like you experience. It's experience, right? So I knew very quickly, like within the first few months, I should not be the one dealing with like spreadsheets of numbers. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not good at that. So I have to let that go to somebody who actually knows how they're doing this. I actually, maybe in my second year, I hired a social media consultant because social media is its own animal. I whatever, like, and I found, like, whatever she was posting, like, I'd post the same thing, she posts the same thing, and she gets like, a million likes and I get like 1 like. So obviously there's something I don't fully understand about that. And also there's certain things I know very well. And then, do I even want to learn this? Like, that's not why. Like, there's somebody who can do it so much better than me.
Yes,
And just
yes.
recognizing that and accepting it, and it's okay. So, I know I'm really good at PR. I know I'm really good at marketing. I know I got product development down pat. So let me focus on what I actually know how to do, and let the people who know the other things do their work. And that's where, like, I keep saying, like, new businesses, like, invest in the right things, and those are the right things, like the right team around you. That's I mean, you're going to, if you keep doing the wrong thing over and over again, you're going to keep falling. So learn quickly and see what you're good at, do what you're good at, and invest in the in the HR that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. So let's talk about the people who are now, helping you grow the brand. What's the single most, one of the most important, qualities that you look at when you're getting talent, when you're hiring? What do you really look at? Because that's a big area. We have people joining companies and after 3 months, 6 months, they can't, you just let them go. What is that one quality you really go?
So, like I said, I'm good at some things and I'm not good at something. And
Yes.
because I'm such a I'm that I'm the good guy in the bosses. Like I'm not an HR person, right? So I always have to have somebody re-interview somebody that I've interviewed because I'm like, oh no, she's so nice. So that's why I want her. And so the next person who interviews her in the professional way, they're like, okay, but she has no skills in this area that you're trying to hire her. So like, don't do that. So I need that guidance inside of HR. So yeah, I'm not the HR person, and for a reason. Because and there's been many through the years that I've just hired because my gut said they're a really good person and I want good people around me, and then in the end, which is not necessarily good. So I'm not the one. So having the right HR person around me has been very important through the years.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And what do you think now for employees? Because perhaps there are people who get, and especially this generation, you want to get into the business, I mean, into a job, and then after 1 year or 2 years, you're driving, and most, and if you're not getting what you really want, I mean, people just leave. How do we manage to keep people, somebody who you started the business with, you manage to work with them up to 5, 7, 10 years? What is that character that keeps them there? Because many people, they're just they'll be impatient.
First of all, again, it comes down to passion, and I find that the people I've retained for the longest amounts of time through the years love SuzieBeauty almost as much as I love SuzieBeauty.
Wow.
So extremely important. They have to just have like extreme passion for the business and for keeping it going and for keeping it running and for maintaining everything that we've built as a brand and as a business. Well, like I had my staff before the acquisition. I came on board with a few of them, and then the two cultures, some of them just didn't work, so I did lose a bunch of stuff, which was very sad. But then as long as they're happy, then I'm okay, because I'll always find somebody. And even right now, like I say, I have a very lean and mean team, and
wow.
I've had a big team, I've had a small team, this is the leanest we've ever been, and it's the easiest to manage, I find. So, and also like I'm also learning every day. Like I learn something new every day. I learn about people every day. I've had people who I've hired who I thought would work, and they lasted 4 days, and like that person can't work. Yeah, and then there's people who lasted 8 years. Like so, it's been yeah. The journey is a complete roller coaster, and HR is a big part of it.
Yeah, so actually we have one of the HR, but she's an HR expert. She's here. I can see her on the chart. She's saying people resources is a challenge. Yeah, and being in the resources, I mean, being in the HR industry, she deals every day with hiring people. Every day you're asked to bring a whole team. Every day. Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. So now tell us, what has any challenges? What has been the greatest challenge that you've had to overcome when you're building SuzieBeauty?
Okay. So first, remember I said I never even planned to be an entrepreneur. I'm a creative. Like I planned to like do makeup for the rest of my life, or when I started the product line, I just wanted to make beautiful products for beautiful African women. Like the end. So running a business in its entirety was a complete uphill battle all day, every day, and struggling to understand every aspect of the business and whatever. So okay, my college education was very important. Working for a bunch of big companies was very important. So it wasn't impossible, it was just not a happy place. So running a
Okay.
business as a creative was not fun. And so even why the acquisition was not it was not a oh my gosh never, is because I'm like,
Mm.
oh my god, like I will like I can continue running this brand and building this brand with a stronger backbone, who like they're business
Yes.
people, they know what they're doing, they have all the departments that I need to get this thing going and going and going. So
Mm.
yeah, so that was being a creative to run a business was very not fun. And then always, and still until today, I'm going to say, is
Mm.
um finance issues. You're always looking for more money, trying to, you're trying to expand the brand. You need money. Where are you getting the money from? Who's investing? Are we looking for
Mm.
investors? Do we want a third party? Do we not? Like, so just those
Mhm.
decisions inside of finance have been
Mhm.
always very difficult to deal with. Getting the right partner, aligning with them properly, always an uphill battle. Keeping up cash flows, going properly, always an issue.
Yes.
So yeah, those
Yes.
are the two biggest challenges for sure.
Well, and now how do you get, because most of the time what we have seen, because we have watched even many people, many of us have watched the ACB Lions Den, we've watched Shark Tank and other investor dens. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time you will find that you are just given a deal. You're given, okay, we'll just give you 20 million and we want 50%. I mean, it's just that. So how do you, as a business person who's looking for investors, manage to negotiate a deal that works for you? Because as you have mentioned, you are able to like make sure the team that you've worked with all along is well taken care of. How do you manage to make that bargain for yourself?
So in the beginning,
Mm.
so my husband is my co-founder of the company, so he um, was able to finance um, my research and development, and then I had to travel looking for manufacturers and doing some marketing, whatever. So initial fund came from us and
Yeah.
like family, and then I knew for sure by the time we're launching we would need a certain amount of like a big chunk of money. I knew it. So
Mm.
looking slowly for those investors, and we were just very clear about, okay, if we're getting an equity investor, so equity is like when you give away a percentage of the company, like
Mm.
what percentage we would not go above.
Mhm.
And it
Yes.
doesn't matter. We rejected many an offer, and happily so, because we were sticking to our guns, and
Yeah.
we were just like, I mean, the clarity was too much. So, which is a very good thing, because we didn't go past what we planned in
Mm.
terms of the investment. Yeah. So just being very, very sure. There's
Mm.
people who start a business and they're willing to sell it, all of it, 100% quickly. There's
Mm.
people who
Yes.
want to own, like only giving away 5%, and they're very clear about that. So that clarity inside
Mm.
yourself as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is very, very.
Yeah, that's important because you've said it's good you know what you're really looking for and your negotiables, non-negotiables. Now, but the
Exactly.
thing is, Susie, don't you? What about the fact that you're gonna lose? I mean, it's your brand you've worked for, it's your baby, as you said. Um, what about the fear of losing the control? It's something that that there are key decisions that can be made and about your company, and there's nothing you can do about it. How do you deal with that?
Like, so even I think you're referring to the acquisition.
Mm.
So even as I was we were negotiating it, and we took a while to negotiate the deal, because I mean, I know for sure I was not going to release myself from the brand. Like I created my full new job description. I got my full new proper title, which is Chief Creative Officer and Brand
Yes, I
Ambassador.
love it.
So just like, even again, clarity. That was not like, if they were like, no, you just not be a part of it, and we just buy you out, and here's money, I was going to have to say no. So I had to always be a part of SuzieBeauty. So, and even like when you see, like when the acquisition was done and we were redoing our shops, like you see my big fat face in all the shops everywhere, just to reassure also my customer that I am still part of the brand. I am still creating your product for you. I'm still all here. So it was a very deliberate decision, also that. And then so just again, clarity and being sure about what your boundaries are. We did need the strategic partner. We did need a stronger backbone. And we otherwise we were going to dissipate into nothingness. So all that taken into consideration, a lot of big girl decisions had to be made, and they were made.
Wow, fantastic. Now, you many people, when they are starting up, tell us, just take us through, why should I, if I have a business for 3 years, why is it important, or why should I sell it? Why should I look for investors? Because sometimes you feel, okay, it's my business, I know it and I can handle it. Why should I even think about investors?
That's up to the individual. Like, so why is that a question? Okay, so why are you asking, why should I look for investors? Do you need money? Like, of course, investors are all about money, right? So do you need money? Okay, that's where investors come in. What type of investors you want? And there's a bunch of different types. So do your research nicely. So there's equity investors, there's debt investors, there's private funds, there's angel investors. So what type of investor are you most attracted to? And then, are you also investor ready? Are they attracted to you? Don't even like take that for granted. Like, don't be like, oh, it's my business and I'm now ready to like do. No, it's not about that. There's another party involved, and it's their money that they're putting in. And then what else comes with the investment? What do you want from the investor? Do you want them to just give you money and leave you alone, and then you pay them back? Do you want them to help you as business people? Do you what are your needs? So you being clear about what you're looking for in an investor is also very important. And then targeting that right investor, because there's if it's a wrong one, it's a wrong one.
Yeah. And what are some of those things, as we wind up on the investment, on them, how you get to sell a business? How do you get investor ready, first of all? What are some of the things that you need to have put in place now to say, now I'm investor ready?
So I'm going to
now I can invest.
I'm going to say one word: numbers.
Numbers.
Can listen to the fluffy, nice stories about me and my beautiful lipstick and like the lip gloss, and the powder is perfect and it goes bright on the face, and it's for us, the African woman. It's by Africa, build Africa. So great. A good story is awesome. And then they will listen like this. Okay, so how much? And what is this number? And what is this number? And what is this number? So cute, like cutesy stories are cute. The end.
Yes.
Numbers. And be
able
to talk them back, forth, up, down, left, right, and center.
Wow, numbers. Bottom. That's important.
And they'll be like, oh, nice. And then, so who's your competition? What is your marketing strategy? Like, they'll ask you like the fluffy questions, but that is that is like 20% of what they want to know.
Yeah. The biggest weight is the numbers, is what you're able to make at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. There's a question that's coming here by Jackie, and she's saying that Suzie Wokabi, if you had two applicants and one with hands-on skills and creative, she's somebody with hands-on skills and is a creative, another one with great papers but no hands-on skills, which one would you hire?
So okay, so it depends on the position first of all.
Yes.
Right. So if somebody is like completely uneducated, I'm not going to make them the accountant. So what is the position? First on, are you talking about maybe like you're talking about my girls in the shops? For me, I feel like when I'm hiring the girls who are on the ground, because they are representing Suzie Wokabi and SuzieBeauty and the brand. It's important for me to get the right feel of them. I need poor girls, like I need for them to be me when I was 23 working in cosmetics retail, and I'm not a salesperson. I never was, and I was never taught sales, but selling makeup is the easiest in the world to me. Like it's just too easy. Like there's no way somebody is coming to buy a foundation and leaves with a foundation. How is she not leaving with a concealer and a powder? And what about her eyes? What about her lips? Like, so it's too easy, like in my head. So I look for the 23-year-old me in my sales consultant.
Wow.
And then a lot of times that doesn't happen. They promise the moon and the stars, and then in a week they're like, oh no, retail is too hard. It is very hard. So we've had a whole rotation of people. So I like your question because okay, so if they have stuff that I can teach, I can't teach passion. I can't teach love of product. I can't teach that. I can teach product knowledge. I can teach sales skills. I can teach that. But that like innate thing, I can't teach. So that's like the main thing like that touches me when I'm interviewing someone.
Wow, fantastic. Now, when you're looking back at your journey building SuzieBeauty for the years you've built it, is there anything you feel you would have done differently, or there's some things you did you feel this one was a total flop? Are there things you look at and say this one I should have done differently? Like, do you have some of those moments?
I don't do regrets because every single process I've gone through, I've learned from. So I don't be like, oh my God, I should never have sold at that shop. No, I should have sold at that shop, so I know that it will never work. I don't want to wonder. So I have also a very strong gut feeling situation when it comes to SuzieBeauty. So I'm like, this is what we have to do. And then I'm like a dog with a bone. Nobody can stop me.
Yes.
I've decided that for sure this is the only way forward right now, for sure. And then if I'm like flimsy about something, everyone around me should just let it go. If I'm extremely strong about it, listen to me. So I have no regrets. Everything I've done, I've learned from. And I think, every process in the step has been extremely important. Building a brand, building the business, and the process still continues. Don't even get that wrong.
Yes. Yes, because it's important, at least because every experience, we get lessons out of it. We get lessons or even inspiration. Something good.
Yes,
if it was something good, we get inspired.
Some mistakes that are made, then you don't do that again. The end. Like
Yeah.
that's actually like
Mm.
life can be really simple if you want it to be.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, it
Very
hurts
good.
in many places, many times. Don't get me wrong, but learning from the and accepting it as a all right, that was not the way to go. Next and
Mm.
next, moving on, moving on.
You learned how not to do it. You just learn how not to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you feel is like the strength of your company right now? What is the strength of your company?
The strength of my company.
Yes. Yes.
That is a loaded question in these times. Me, I guess. I'm the strength of my company. The product is the strength. Also, like the product is still appreciated, and
Mm.
the I thank all the gods for like having this big mouth where I talk a lot, and then I get to preach the word of SuzieBeauty. I've never done
Mm.
any paid advertising, so if
Wow.
anyone knows about SuzieBeauty, it's because of me and my big mouth. So
Mm.
I think I'll still continue to be the strength of the company, um, and 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 working with the right people around me, like and kind
Mm.
people and people who
The
want
team.
the best for the brand. Not even and it's not
Mm.
Suzie Wokabi, the best for the brand SuzieBeauty. So if we're all working in the
Yeah.
right direction, then we'll get somewhere. And then right now, like things are
Yeah.
crazy. We close our shops in March, for what, 2 3 weeks, and then we open, but very distantly. Nobody wants to be touched. So yeah, the product sales have dropped. We're trying to now re-strategize completely and just see
Mm.
what's okay. This is, and I don't love the word the new normal, but it is a new normal.
Mm.
And so whatever the outcome
Yeah.
is
As,
of what strategy we come up with, I think will be acceptable well enough.
mm.
Yeah, so if it's we have to for sure increase our online presence and strengthen it so much, and that is one thing I'm fully working on.
Mm.
And then see, like, I had again big girl decisions, like do we need to close our shop because the rents are high and the sales are low? What is which one, which two, which none, which, like, so many decisions to be made. So it's
Mm.
an interesting time, and not and still like not the worst, because it could be worse, and it's okay because we'll get
Mm.
somewhere and we'll figure it out. I know I've
Yeah.
tried for sure, because I'm that crazy
Yeah.
girl.
You have to.
So yeah, we'll be fine.
No.
We'll be fine. We just need to
Yes.
strategize, which is my job right now.
Mm. So now look.
Did you froze?
Says
You just froze?
people process product.
You're frozen and breaking up. Okay,
Oh,
I think you're okay
did you
now.
hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm saying people process product. What do you feel is the single most biggest challenge to many businesses, and especially from 1 to 3 or 5 years?
People process and
Product.
oh gosh.
Product.
Okay. So okay. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask this to, because for me it's always, of
Mm,
course, product first.
okay.
Then that's me. Somebody else around me, which is why I have a team. It could be people.
Mm-hmm.
and somebody else is for sure a process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not me to list them, but for me, of
Mm-hmm.
course, product, perfect product,
Product.
really good product for the people who are buying
Mm.
it, in the processes that it's going to be sold in, is so important. So for me,
Mm.
and then probably process,
Mm.
and then people. Is that right? That's a big question for me to answer just very quickly like that. So I'm just pretending to answer it. Okay. But again,
Mm.
creative, makeup artist, product. It's too important. The right product for us.
Yeah, the right product. Okay. Now, since we are dealing with a global pandemic, and many businesses have really suffered. Some have closed down, closed shop, packed up. So, how do you build a business to survive through such storms? How do you build an enduring business you can be able to beat any storms like what we are in right now?
So that's what you must tell me, maybe, because I don't think there's an answer to. I don't think anybody has an answer to that. I don't think the billionaires who are now maybe millionaires like know the answer to that. There's no way to have guessed that something like this could happen. You know what I mean? If we were all told
Yeah.
if we were all shown a video in February of how we would be living in June or May, we'd have just laughed. We'd have been like, of course,
Yeah.
that's not even possible. And here we are
Mm.
and dealing.
Mm.
So how to not there's no way to like back support like a crisis. I don't think we think that way. And so be it, because like, yeah, like why would I be sitting here creating a business, trying to grow my business thinking, oh my gosh, it will shut down tomorrow. Like, no, no, it's just, how do I catapult it? How do I go forward? How do I, leap ahead? How
Mm.
to deal inside of the issue, or like the pandemic, or the like crisis, is
Mm.
like, I think is a more important question. And it's about being very limber and
Yeah.
very versatile and very willing to change as necessary, and
Mm.
not take, like it's not a personal thing, like it's not a, I'll never like, if I had to close down all my 4 shops, I wouldn't
Mm.
feel like a failure, because I'm doing something else that's going to help
Yeah.
my brand. What is my end goal? What is my end goal? My end goal is to keep SuzieBeauty existing and going and growing.
Mm.
So whatever that means, whatever that will mean, I'm golden.
Mm.
Yeah. So if it means we're selling on Amazon International only, and then SuzieBeauty is still growing, still existing, still being, hey, the legacy continues.
Yeah. The legacy continues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us. So I know you've had many great, proud moments of SuzieBeauty. What has been your greatest proud moments?
The greatest.
Mm. Yeah, like the biggest, like you said, this one I do. Mm.
The highlight. Okay, there's a bunch of highlights. So I think for me, it's also like, it helps when there's recognition,
Mm.
one, from individual people, clients,
Yeah.
right, who are just
Mm.
like, oh my god, like your Asali lipstick is life, or your eye kohl, like is amazing, like, oh, this powder is everything. One,
Mm.
that I even launched the brand is ridiculous to me, first of all.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I was asked in the beginning, like, if I still if I sold 2 lipsticks ever in my life, I'd have still been like chatting on the phone.
Wow.
But then I think, I mean, like, so the accolades are great. Like the love that I get from like the media and social media, like it's really helpful because like
Mm,
like me being an inspiration, I'd never have put myself in that category. Me,
mm,
helping somebody think outside of the all the boxes and think that yeah, you can create a pioneer brand in whatever other industry. I love
mm.
that. And then yeah, so I think like I was counting, I think we have like 33 awards um
Wow.
locally and internationally. So
Fantastic.
that's always
Fantastic.
very helpful.
Mm.
Um so I have a some of my walls of fame that when I'm feeling
Wow.
down and out, I just go and like look at the things. I'm like, okay, I'm not useless. I haven't done nothing. And then even just
Yeah.
like
That's
being called to speak about Africa, SuzieBeauty around the world. Like I've been to so
mm,
many countries. I was listing them down the other day just from people inviting me around the world to
mm,
to to speak the word of SuzieBeauty and Africa. Like I love that so much, and
yeah.
I love that I've been able to travel for it and
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and like money has nothing to do with anything. Like if you haven't heard me say money anywhere, right? Because I
Oh.
told you I'm not the one enjoying the fruits of I'm not the one who's going to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Mm-hmm.
It's my next generation. I still drive
Wow.
really hot whiskey. Like yeah, so no, I don't do that, and I don't care to yeah to do the over the top lavish stuff. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I'd rather grow the babies, and it's SuzieBeauty and the boys,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Okay, that's good. And I think it's important when we get to you appreciate every part of the journey. You have some small, you get a win, as even if no matter how small it is, you celebrate it and pat yourself at the back, and you get the motivation to do something even grander, something bigger. It's good to appreciate the journey all the way.
absolutely,
So
yeah.
yes. So take us through your day, Susie. How does your typical day at work look like?
Now, wrong time to ask that question. My
Okay, take us back.
okay, so let's pretend. Are we
Yeah,
pretending we're in normal time?
okay, let's go back to
Yeah.
February then. You'll also tell us
Okay.
even
Okay.
now
Let's do
because even now you're
let's do
still
December,
working. I know.
January, February. Okay.
Yes.
So
Mm. Yes.
I don't go to the office often
Mm.
because it's no use sitting in an office in up Mombasa Road, doing nothing and not.
Mm.
I have a very clear job description, so me sitting in an office has nothing to do with it. So I would set up like sort of catch up meetings with my directors or my sales team maybe
Mm.
once or twice a week maximum.
Mm.
Um, I have 2 boys who are 10
Mm.
and 7.
Mm.
So between me and my husband, like somebody's taking them to school, getting them ready, like so we make that happen. And then
Mm.
yeah, I do a lot of work online. I do a lot of outside meetings. Me walking around Yaya, or even just me like sitting at a meeting at Java in Yaya or in Junction, whatever, is a lot
Mm.
more helpful to the brand than me sitting in the office. So I'm
Wow.
out and about all the time. And then I my day sort of stops around
Mm.
3:30 or 4 p.m. when the boys are done with school, and then I cook maybe 5 times a week. like from scratch.
Wow. Mm.
Now I'm cooking
That's
3 meals a day every
you
day,
just love
so
cooking.
different things.
Uh, mm.
And then if I need to like catch up with like more emails, like or more like correspondence, it starts like with sort of 7 after dinner,
Yeah.
and then I can stay up and finish, or as long as I'm finished for the end of the day and I've corresponded enough and I feel like ah, I've achieved enough. I'm good. And then
Yeah.
there's also like the interview, like I go to like different press interviews or different events where I'm
Mm.
representing SuzieBeauty. So there's a bunch of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's for the PR bit of it. And
Yeah. That's
never say no to any.
yeah. So I see Hassan, you're here, you're watching, you're saying it's great hearing Susie speak to empower people. Nkada, Riongo Moshiri, proud of you, Susie. You shine, you inspire. Jen Mutinda, people resources is such a challenge. There's Jackie, there's Steve Wanjogu, wonderful. I will rewatch. I'll be watching. Swira, great stuff. Jackie. Yeah, so we have some people who are watching. By the way, if you have questions, we're just finishing. So if you have a question you want to ask Susie, kindly just type. We'll be reading. So Susie, tell us. So now that SuzieBeauty is now about 9 or 10 years now, what next? What's the next big thing, or where next? Where are we going with Susie? Now that's vision. Where are we going
Well, okay,
with
so
the
if you had asked me this question 3 months, 4 months ago, completely different answer. So, but then,
yeah.
uh, so I did have to at the end of, was it 2018? I had
Mm,
to think about like what is next, literally, because it had
mm,
become a bit comfortable, like everything sort of like running about me, like
mm,
people are doing the things that I need to get done, and I'm doing my job very
mm,
comfortably. But then, and so again, it comes back to Africa, and so I did have to define that purpose. The purpose is to be an instrumental part of growing
mm,
the African beauty industry, and I did want to sort of give a bit of a separation between Suzie Wokabi and SuzieBeauty. I still, until now, will go somewhere and they're like, "Oh, hi, SuzieBeauty." I'm like, "Oh, my last name is actually not Beauty; it's Wokabi." So, but great, I'm happy for the brand. Thank you so much.
yes,
But
yes.
then still, I need that a little bit of a divide so that I can actually do more. I can do more for the industry. So
Mm,
yeah. So again, a few months ago, and I've told you, keep watch for in 2 weeks, you'll be seeing something. So I'm going to say now, keep watch. I'm we're seeing when we can introduce something new, like something fresh, something exciting,
mm,
and to do with
mm,
Africa and beauty. Again, it all comes down to Africa and beauty.
mm,
And SuzieBeauty is always here, so she will always be a part of whatever those things are that I'll be doing. So
mm.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
But yes, keep
very
watch.
good. So yeah, we are watching. We are watching this space.
Watch.
We are always watching.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Jackie is asking. She's very curious how Kenyan products are more expensive than imported products. When one gets to a beauty shop, one would want to buy a Kenyan product, but the price is just way up there. So you just end up buying, the other products.
Yeah, that's a good conversation to have because okay,
Mm,
my first answer to that is when you're buying, well, and what's affordable, right? Is it cheap?
mm,
Because there's a difference between cheap and affordable.
mm,
Depending also on the ingredients in there. Like you like do not ever buy a lipstick for 100 or 200 shillings. Like what ingredients are in that lipstick that make it retailable for 100 or 200 shillings? Ask yourself that first. And there's a reason why ours is, 1,000 shillings. Because extremely, all the safe ingredients. I've done a lot of research. Everything is allergy tested. And then also the colors are right for us and all that. So, there's a lot of thinking you have to do. Why does somebody buy, Ralph Lauren as opposed to Target, like, or whatever? Like, why are you doing that and doing this? Is it just money? Is it just money? Or do you care about, of course, and also like face, like you're putting stuff into your body, into your skin.
Yes.
So ours is even worse. It's more important than fashion. Accessories like, clothing, you can do whatever. But this is going inside of your body. There's products on the market that have, carcinogenic products, ingredients, which, they will cause you cancer. At the end of the day, you want to die because you wanted to spend 300 shillings? Like, why? So, so think about that.
Yes.
Another thing is, like, yes, we could, and probably will shortly, lower our prices. Also, this is just too rough a time for everyone, and I am not opposed to thinking about, like, my audience. And yeah, you're not going to the shops, you do want your product. Things are different at work, maybe some are not working. So to make things also more convenient for my customer, I'm going to, like, I'm looking into lowering prices and that type of thing. It will be a bit of a process, but I'm on the case. But yes, no, just be careful about what you're putting on your face, on your body, like, and question why something would cost so little and something costs that much.
Yeah. So we have several people who are asking questions here. Very shortly, we have to wind up in the next 4 or so minutes. So Tunde, Daniel Omitogun, I think from Nigeria. Which of the Kenya's made beauty products are unique that you cannot find imported substitution, or that is better than imported ones? I don't know. Okay. Let me just see. Which?
I don't
So,
and why you would answer it any other way. The end. Okay, next question.
Yes. Yes, SuzieBeauty. Thank you, Tunde, for that question. So Massimo, yes. So on Massimo, yes. How did she know that? How did she know that she wanted to go to do beauty and venture into the industry and not any other industry of business? I think that you had already handled that one. Well, yeah, because you spoke a lot about passion. It's
I dabbled in a bunch of different industries and inside of fashion, and found my love for cosmetics there. I've always sort of loved beauty, and so it was just, wow, this can be a career. I'm going into it.
Very good. So tell us, we are winding us. So tell us, what's your current read right now? Are you a fan of books?
You know what?
Somebody told
right now. Let me show you. So I've been reading more inside of this time. So this is the one I'm on right now.
Yeah. Oh, the Empowered Woman. Chicken Soup for the Soul.
And it was given to me by a friend, Zahida, and it's so, and like it's so comforting. It's chicken soup for the soul. It's you read all these things about everyone who's gone through all sorts of ups and downs and still came out of it. So that's what I'm on right now.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, my current read is this Built to Last by Jim Collins. Yeah, Built to Last. Built to Last. Yeah, by Jim Collins. So, they speak about
yeah, because we are
Built to Last. Yeah, built. Yeah, and it's typically speaks of our businesses that have been built. I mean, they've even survived hundreds, 150 years. We know how are they built. It's a very, very good book.
Yeah,
And
love it.
yeah, so we
Okay,
have.
I'm going to look out for that.
Yeah, please do. It's a big,
Yeah.
it's huge, you see,
That
but it's very
so
good.
one of my sort of what I icons is Estee Lauder, of course,
Mm,
who I don't
mm,
know, the business was started what I don't know, it's decades old, decades,
mm,
and they've done so
mm,
much amazing stuff in the beauty industry for all those decades.
mm,
I mean, her sons ran it. Her granddaughter is also, part of it, and
mm.
she's in heaven somewhere. Yeah. So I love that
Wow.
idea.
Mm.
I also love
Yeah,
that
so
idea.
one last question. So which farm produce does your company need? Which because this would create jobs for youth.
Say again.
Which farm produce does your company need? I think some of the things you use, some of the ingredients maybe use.
Ingredients.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we you in 2018 we launched our skincare line. So in there it's like,
Mm,
there's avocado, which is like the main one.
mm, mm.
Aloe. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
avocado. Mm,
mm. So I wanted to put like I'm creating this a lip balm, and I want in it to have like coconut. So we're just like looking also into oh, sorry, one of the things we're trying to do is just like even in the
mm.
next few months, because we don't manufacture locally. I develop
Mm.
locally, but we have to contract manufacture in different countries. So we're trying to
Wow.
do like some local manufacturing because there's we
Mm,
have a factory that can. So,
mm,
is it a lip balm? Is it a setting spray? Things that we can possibly do here within the next, because we don't know
mm,
when this is ending, right?
mm.
So what can we introduce into the line soon while we're waiting for this madness to reduce?
Wow, fantastic! Thank you so much, Susie. We've had a whole it's a whole hour now. We've learned a lot from you. Now there are very many young people and who really want to get into the beauty industry. Whether it's applying or whether they want to actually manufacture, get into, because there's so many who have done this chemistry degrees, and they have this passion. What do you have for them?
Okay, so wait, people who have studied chemistry.
Yes, I'm saying there are very many young people who are getting into the beauty industry, and even to there are those who will be just selling the products, but there are those who will also be getting
Yeah,
into manufacturing. Yeah.
creating products. Great,
Mm,
great. Do it. I mean, I'm not a chemist.
mm,
I've been creating products, I have to sit with a chemist. So we
mm,
need you. We need you, amazing chemists, to cook the
mm,
stuff and to know, like, this amount of this and this amount of that and whatever. Like, while I'm a product developer, I can be like, no, this texture is wrong. I need it to be more powdery. I need it to
mm,
be like thicker. So
mm,
you chemists are the ones who know that answer. I don't. I didn't. I never studied chemistry. So that's
mm.
why I always have to sit with the chemist. And so yes, yeah, do it, guys, do it. The more the merrier. Let's build this
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah, yeah, and the other thing, so where do you usually have? I was getting this question a lot. Do you usually have master classes, or even seminars that you do, or a
No,
mentorship
I don't.
program?
We don't usually have master classes. We had one before COVID,
Mm,
and then we had one last year.
mm,
Um, and so when we can stop social, I mean physical distancing, I will definitely be doing that. Yeah.
Okay. What do you do in the master
And I
classes?
go from
What
beginning to end.
what do you teach in the programs that you have?
I teach everything from skincare, why, process of skincare, then makeup from what you start with and what you end with, and why. Using the right tools, and what the right tools are.
Very good.
It's educating.
Yeah. The people who are asking that question. So where can we get your products, the SuzieBeauty products? Where do we get them?
So right now, so we have all our 4 shops still open. So it's
Okay.
Sarah Center, Junction,
Okay.
Yaya, and TRM. And then our website, www.SuzieBeauty.com. And then you can absolutely feel free. First of all, definitely join our Facebook page because we have all the updates going on there more than anywhere else. So our Facebook is SuzieBeauty. And on there, we will also start figuring out how to sell. And our Instagram, SuzieBeautyKE. Also there, we're going to figure out how to sell from there. And Twitter is SuzieBeauty. So we have all the announcements made, like all the new products, all the exciting things that happen, mainly on social media. And yes, you can definitely buy online. Sorry, also there's a few websites like Jumia that we sell on.
Or Jumia.
They'll deliver to you. Yes. I can actually give you a list, and you can link the list of who all we
Yeah, please. Yes, please do. You can give it to me later. We'll put it on our pages. So thank you so much, Suzie. We've had a fantastic time. You're very, very warm and very graceful. Thank you. Thank you for the grace also, because we were trying to connect as we were beginning. Yes, so we really appreciate, and even all we have a lot of comments right here. Thank you for all those who've been watching. Jackie, you've asked, you've been around, I think, the whole show. Thank you so much. We certainly look forward to see more of you, Suzie, and to see SuzieBeauty soar and take the African market, and on the beauty on the beauty industry. So we are really inspired. Oh yes. Yes, we are really, really inspired. So at least we know where to get you. Yes, we will. We'll prevail. So we know where to get you. We have your Facebook pages, and we look forward to host you even another time. All right. So
awesome. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.